Hey everyone, I am Dr. Angelica Benavides. In PowerTalk, Ask the Expert. And with me today, I have an amazing person. Sheryl is the founder and CEO at Nourishment Vitality. She is an author, international speaker, and the World Women Conference and Awards chapter leader of Israel. She is an internationally trained and certified mind, nutrition, and wellness practitioner. Sorry. She is also an expert in stress relief management and conscious relationships. Sheryl and her family are survivors of the 2004 Asian tsunami. This event left her with a very deep understanding of human vulnerability and was leading. Now she's a leading expert talking about survivor. Now, we are going to show you a video. So you have to stick with us for a little bit because it's an amazing story to tell because in reality, Sheryl, thank you for being here. Thank you. It's been how long? 2004. But you said it's an anniversary, right? From yesterday?
Yesterday, right, Dr. Angelica, thank you so much for having me on your show with you this evening. It's a real pleasure to be speaking with you. This is my evening, your daytime. And yes, yesterday was the 16th anniversary of the 2004 Asian tsunami. And I would love to share with everybody the story and to always remember and to honor the souls that did not survive, and for everybody to watch the video and to hear the story. I believe that when we speak about our story, we honor what it is that we've gone through for ourselves and for others to inspire, to give strength. So thank you very much for the opportunity.
Absolutely. So I am going to increase the screen here for a bit. And then can you tell me if you can hear it on your side, Sheryl, and see it?
Yes, I can. Everyone has had a moment where they may have had the feeling of being paralyzed by fear. When was your moment? Whatever your experience, it matters. My moment was back in 2004, during a dream holiday that became a nightmare. We were living in Hong Kong at the time. We booked a relaxing holiday to Thailand. My family and I are survivors of the 2004 Asian tsunami. We lived through the Asian tsunami that killed over approximately 200,000 plus lives. We were lucky. On the morning of the 26th of December, we went for a refreshing walk along the beach. My son kept persisting that he wanted to go to sit by the pool. We listened, reflecting back. It was probably this action in itself that saved our lives. Now, back at the pool, we're sitting comfortably, appreciating the serenity of our surroundings. It was very beautiful. Suddenly, I had a very strong feeling wash over me. And I listened to it. It was my intuition. I immediately got up and I turned to look at my son, who was playing beautifully in the swimming pool right behind us. And I asked him to come out of the water and come and stand where we were. He refused. He was playing beautifully and was very happy where he was. But I was very insistent. I needed my sons near me. I was having none of his fighting with me on this. So I called to him again, get out of the water and come to where we are. He did. Now I had my two boys playing beautifully right in front of my eyes where I could see them. And I sat down again and relaxed, back into the serenity and the comfort and the beauty and the paradise of where we were. Suddenly, I heard my husband just yell, get up, and I soon saw why. The wave was right in front of us. At least it appeared that way. It was speeding towards us. My husband grabbed my younger son, I with my elder, and we ran like we have never run before. The tsunami hit with a speed and ferocity that was simply overwhelming. The area where my son had been playing just a few minutes before had been devastated by the power of the surge, and a car had come and smashed right into the kids' club, right there. This single example illustrates the power that comes with intuition. Your intuition, it's a superpower. Just listen to it. 1 second we were in paradise, and the next we were in hell. Who would have ever thought that there's such a fine line between the two?
To be a father in a situation like this with your family is very jarring. There's nobody to tell you what to do, not to freeze, how to take responsibility. There's no second guessing. You have to hope you've taken the correct ones. Your gut intuition is what leads you forward. We were the lucky ones.
For a while after I returned to Hong Kong, I would suffer with a tremendous amount of panic attacks and a lot of overwhelming anxiety. This was the driving force that led me to my study of the science of breath, the cornerstone of stress management. So much has happened since then. I've spent countless hours learning with the world's leading masters and authorities in mindfulness to enable me to help others as I have helped myself. One of my saviors was Frankie Turk, who I will always hold dear to my heart and will always be grateful to for having come into my life when he did.
When Sheryl came to me after surviving the tsunami, we worked on a lot of controlled breathing techniques together to help her regain focus and stability in her body and life. Emotion and breathing are closely connected. Research studies show that different emotional states are associated with different respiration patterns. When you feel anxious and afraid, you breathe more quickly and shallowly. When you feel happy, you breathe slowly and fully.
There are traumas that you overcome, and there are traumas that you just never get over. Certain things just become an integral part of who you are. You live with them, you work with them, you move with them, but they don't necessarily need to define you. Fear is a necessary feeling, but so often we allow our fears to prevent us from living the life that we truly desire and deserve. How we internalize our fears will dictate how our lives will unfold. We can choose to lock them away, or we can choose to face them and to free ourselves to live our lives at its full capacity. You can live a life full of freedom, peace, clarity, and purpose. If I can do it, you can do it too. Together we can transform your life, face your fears and overcome your challenges so that you can live your life full of passion, energy, and fulfillment. After years of struggling, I decided my moment was going to make me stronger. Now I invite you to let yours do the same. I'm Sheryl Puterman, founder and CEO of Nourishment Vitality Coaching. Click on the link around this video to book a call to discover how you can step into your most empowered, authentic self, let go, and live the life that you truly deserve.
Wow. Wow. It's an honor to be here with you and be sharing this moment because it's just magical. I mean, you are here for a big reason, right? And I really honor your presence. And God, I wish I could hug you. So I'm going to send you virtual hugs. I mean, you brought tears to my eyes because I think intuition is a big piece of our lives. So you were there with your child, right? With your children.
I was there with both of my boys, and as I say, it was my intuition in itself, because my eldest son was playing so beautifully in the water behind me, but something made me stand up at the time that it did and insist that he come next to me. And I truly needed both of my boys near me. And I always say that our intuition is a superpower. We need to learn to tap in, tune in, and listen to our intuitive selves. We have what's called, at the end of the day, a second brain in our belly. It's our enteric nervous system. We don't often tune in and actually listen to our gut. You know, we say, I had a gut feeling. But because we are trained to think with our minds, with our intellect, we forget to listen to that voice, to that whisper, to that innate wisdom that exists within our own selves, within our own belly, the heart intelligence that exists within ourselves. It's our intuition, and it's a superpower. And sometimes when we make decisions based just on our intuition, we may not feel as if it makes any logical sense at the time, but it's always right. So I often say and believe that we need to be able to tune in and to listen to that inner voice, that inner whisper within us. And sometimes that means that we have to take a poignant pause and slow down enough to be able to do that. Because when we're living our lives in so much fear, stress, overwhelm, and anxiety, we're so focused on the external noise that's out there, we kind of block off that brilliant wisdom and intuition and voice that is there for us, always guiding us, leading us, showing us, helping us.
Yeah. I truly believe in that intuition is our GPS. It's an internal GPS. And it's amazing that you were able to really tap into it. And that's exactly what saved you, right? And your children. How about your husband? Everything.
Yes. My husband was there with us as well. He was on the video as well. Yes. And at the end of the day, you know, the power again of the surge came it was so strong. Had I not gotten up when I got up, at the moment that I got up, called out when I did, etc., everything happened so quickly. And it was truly a blessing that I did. And honestly, if all of us would take some time to just tune into ourselves and into the inner guidance, the inner GPS system within us, we would navigate our way through life with more ease and flow. Put it to you that way.
Yes. Now, you know what? A lot of people are interested of the word intuition because it sounds very woo-woo at many times. In fact, for so many years, I've been very intuitive all my life, but for so many years, you feel like it's something wrong, right? And you're not normal, but we are, right? And I think it would be interesting to kind of dive deeper into, was it a feeling that you felt when it was intuition? Was it like a voice, your inner voice that was like, get them out? Like, can you take us through what exactly was it that you were feeling that was your intuition? Because intuition is different for everybody.
Yes, absolutely. And, you know, at that moment and at that time of, at the actual time of the tsunami, when it hit, and that moment where I suddenly got up, I do remember just before looking up and seeing a beautiful bird and looking around and thinking this is paradise. But there was something that made me get up and insist that my son came out. Now, I can't explain what exactly that was, excepting it was a very strong feeling. And as mothers, we possess that feeling. We have that feeling inside of us as mothers. I think it's a natural instinct that we actually have within us. And right. I was so insistent. And again, my son was playing beautifully at that time, but I needed both my boys next to me. I wasn't taking no for an answer. I must have repeated myself 3 or 4 times. Get out that water, get out now. And yes, intuition is different for different people. What I've learned over the course of my life is to listen to that voice. Sometimes it can come across as a nagging feeling. And, the more you, it's like a muscle. It's like an intuitive muscle. And the more you kind of tune in, you strengthen that muscle. And yes, sometimes we get it wrong. I mean, as a coach, say, for example, I coach people, and I often use intuition to guide me in my coaching practice as well. And sometimes we don't actually know. It's relaxing into that uncertainty. But when you allow yourself to actually relax into the uncertainty, relax into the unknown, wisdom can reveal itself. And so that's why intuition changes at different stages and in different areas of life, whether it's depending on what one is calling it at the time. But there is this enteric nervous system, the brain in our gut, that is that innate wisdom that exists in us, this strong knowing. And I do feel that it is necessary to slow down, to pause, to be able to turn within in order to really understand and intuit the messages that are there, the wisdom that is there. And then as you go through life and you sharpen and you strengthen that muscle, you are able to just intuit things a lot easier. Some people have a natural gift and they're born with it. Other people have to work consciously at actually strengthening that muscle, but we all have it. Every single human being has that deep innate wisdom within themselves and that intuition within themselves.
Absolutely. So tell me, I'm curious, like when you and your husband grabbed your children, where is it that you ran towards that you consider that it helped you to be in a safer area?
We actually flew on the 25th of December, and the tsunami hits on the 26th. And I must say, sometimes I feel like almost like we witnessed everything that actually happened. We were actually booked in at a different hotel, and a day before we flew, the travel agent called to say that there was a problem with the booking, and he booked us into another hotel. Now, this was our first holiday. We had only arrived in Hong Kong 6 months prior. Now, moving to a new country, a country I'd never seen before. My boys were really young at the time, and packing up and going to the unknown, because I just packed up and I went. With my husband, it was for his work at the time, and moving, just when the travel agent called and he asked us to change to another hotel, we still thought, should we go, shouldn't we go? We were both exhausted after an immigration, as you know, it can really be very tiring, and so we went, and the hotel that we were actually booked in at was on an incline, so the water surrounded. And then it withdrew, but it was actually at an incline. And when we ran on this incline. And I must say, at the time, it's when I actually think back, I'm not even sure in my actual mind how long it was that I was running. It didn't seem all that long, yet. What actually saved us was this incline where the water came up and it surrounded and it withdrew. And the actual hotel that we were booked in, where we had cancelled the actual booking, there were so many people that actually didn't make it inside the actual rooms. So I almost feel like there was we were all being looked after. And going through it at the time, there was no time to freeze. The only thing that could happen on that day was action. We needed to act. We needed to run. We needed to move. And I must say that it was only once we returned back to Hong Kong that I began to struggle with this tremendous overwhelm and anxiety and panic attacks, and the magnitude of everything actually kicked in. And being mom again, captains of our ships, I had to be there for the family, and my boys were pretty traumatized as well. So, being there for them. And that's when I really leaned in to help myself by learning with some of and I was very blessed to be in Hong Kong at the time and learn with some of the world's leading masters in the healing power of breath, in the science of stress. And I did so many trauma relief courses to be able to help other people in these situations. And I became passionate about what do you do in these situations, because it's extremely frightening when you go into a full-blown panic attack. It is extremely frightening. And, learning how to breathe becomes an extremely powerful tool. It most certainly helped me, and I've been able to help so many other people regain focus, regain stability, regain clarity, simply through the power of the breath. And our emotions and our breathing are closely connected. Breathing is the cornerstone of stress management. So 1 or 2 complete inhale and exhale can put the body in more of a relaxed state, and all healing, maintenance and repair takes place in a relaxed body as opposed in a very stressed body. So when we learn to self-soothe our own nervous systems, we can actually help ourselves to calm down in the moment, even under extreme anxiety, even under extreme overwhelm. Learning to breathe is an extremely powerful tool.
You said several things that really caught my attention that I would like to talk to and remind people, because you said one thing, that when there is accidents like what you went through, right? Unforeseen events. And we all experience something in life that is very shocking or overwhelming for our whole being. But you said there was no time to think. It was time to really take action and react, right? And I think that many times when our body goes into shock, we kind of freeze, right? We paralyze. And there's no way to kind of act. So I know that sometimes it's an instinct that just kind of takes your whole being, and then you act and you run. But I think that when you combine it with that breath, right? Did you already know about these practices, or was it after the fact that you started?
Well, I've been studying metaphysical sciences ever since I'm a teenage young lady, and I must say, yes and no. I was always very interested in the healing sciences, etc. The actual extent that I went on to study the power of breathing and the various different techniques, etc. No, I wasn't aware of at that time. But at that time, as I say, I acted. There was no time to actually freeze. The tsunami was a very surreal moment.
Right.
It was as if, well, the sea was just coming for you. I'd never seen anything like it before. I never knew what a tsunami was. And I found myself in the situation where the only thing we could do was run. I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know what was happening. But I think at the end of the day, it's really important to acknowledge that we all go through our own personal tsunamis in life. They can be big, traumatic, life-changing events, or they can be something as mundane as being stung by a bee. But at the end of the day, our bodies physiologically experience stress in the same way. And that's again where the power of the breath becomes so powerful, because when we can actually consciously learn how to breathe, then we can consciously help ourselves move through very stressful situations in life.
Mhm.
There are some traumas that never truly go away. They don't.
Exactly.
And that's the reality of it. The body remembers trauma. It doesn't have to go away in order for one to actually move forward from a very traumatic, life-changing event. At the end of the day, again, learning some tools and techniques to be able to help one navigate their way through some sort of pain and suffering, and being able to draw some sort of a learning and value in whatever it is that we go through, can actually help us move forward at the end of the day. What the tsunami did for me as a human being in my own spirit is that it humbled me. It left me with a very deep sense of human vulnerability. When you're faced with a natural disaster like that, you realize that as a human being and as a human life here on planet Earth, nature is just enormous. And no matter who you are, and there's so many different people on planet Earth, when even all together collectively, when you're faced against a surge that's strong, it really humbles you, and it opens you up to real vulnerability. You're kind of exposed to real human vulnerability. So it took me.
So after that, what decisions did you make that maybe has, shaped you to who you are now? Because I think a lot of people, and I know that I was one, that we take life for granted. But then when I was hit with cancer and almost didn't survive myself, I found that I had a lot of unbroken, I had a lot of unmet promises that I had made to myself. And then it's now, okay, I'm going to step into our greatness. A lot of people feel that stepping into your greatness could be bad, and it's not. It's living to the fullest, right? Expression of a human being. So what have you done differently to step into that greatness?
So I love that question, actually. It wasn't something that came easily for me. It was something that I had to actually consciously decide on my path to actually step into. First, I had to learn how to help myself, because I was shaken to my very core of my being. I was shaken up. And I truly believe that when life shakes us to our very core, it's faith that actually helps us. And it's faith that actually helps us stand up and go through whatever it is that we're going through. Faith is the foundation of life. When our faith is shaken, our entire world is shaken. So what did I do to help myself? I strengthened my faith. I strengthened my faith. I strengthened my faith in myself. I strengthened my faith in my belief in a higher architecture of a higher wisdom of the universe, in a self greater than myself, and I learned that no matter what happens in life, because the one thing is that, going through such an experience, such a trauma, you yourself have gone through traumas in your life, it scars one in some ways. And I was left with certain scars. My relationship with uncertainty became extremely challenged. And the reason for this was that I faced my most dangerous moment on a holiday. So one moment I was in paradise, and the next swept up in this chaos and in this destruction. And so my relationship with uncertainty became very challenged for years. My needing to know where my kids were at all times. Today we have our mobile phones and our way of communication. But, this is something that I struggled with. I wanted to know where they were. Where are you? What do you do? I needed to know certain things because it scarred me. It scarred me. My experience scarred me. But I learned over time and through my own life adversity. I learned how to relax into life's uncertainty, because life happens and life takes us by surprise. And as far as I can tell, there is no prescript for life. It happens. It's thrown at us, one thing after the next, after the next. We are living in the big mystery of the unknown. And uncertainty is not a new concept for us as human beings. It's something that we faced over and over again, whether it's in personal life, whether it's in business. No big businesses would ever actually have taken off the ground if they didn't face the risk of the uncertainty that they could possibly fail. So we are always taking risks. We are always living in uncertainty. This is a fact of life. Marketers know this by always offering money-back guarantees. We as human beings do not want to be caught in a situation that we don't like. We always want a way out. So by offering a money-back guarantee, you know that you're not going to be caught in a situation or in something that you can't get out of. But unfortunately or fortunately, life doesn't happen that way. Life is uncertain. So one thing that I've learned that shaped me to who I am today is that the more that you don't walk around life, fearing life, bracing against the next thing that's going to happen, but rather relaxing into life, relaxing into unknown, relaxing into the wisdom of we don't know. Relaxing into this unknown, you can actually allow real wisdom to come in and allow life and allow where life is calling you, a higher calling, to actually reveal itself. And when we walk through life consciously in that way, trusting, believing, having faith, what happened with me is that I have tremendous faith. Not so much in what the next thing life's going to bring, because I really don't know, but I have faith that as long as I'm here and I'm alive here on planet Earth, I have faith in myself, in my ability to show up, to stand up, no matter what's happening, and to go through whatever life's presenting me with, and to do it willingly. Because when we fight against what life is presenting us with, it makes it harder for us. So I've learned to have faith in my abilities to go through what life will bring me and to trust that I might not know what to do, but I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. Exactly. As things happen, I'll figure it out. And that way I've learned to relax more into life instead of stressing into life. That shaped who I am today. What shaped me as far as the work that I do in my life and the way that I choose to express myself creatively through my expression of my work is that it was this experience in my life that changed the trajectory of who I am. Therefore, it is my true why of why I do what I do today. And Nourishment Vitality, a 360 health and wellness platform to help people struggling with stress, with fatigue, with holistic weight management through nutritional psychology is my true passion, to be able to help people overcome whatever stressors they may be going through in their life, whether it's the stress, whether it's the fatigue, whether it's unhealthy habits and behaviors, by helping them overcome what they're going through dealing with it at the root cause and dealing with it in a way that works for who they are, helping them navigate their own emotional metabolism through life so that they can, at the end of the day, become better versions of themselves and have a deeper, richer, more meaningful experience of being a human being.
I love it. Because it's that faith that we have to tap into of believing that, we're going to be okay, because that's exactly what I had to do when I was going through cancer and they told me I had 5 years. And it was that surrender, right? It's kind you surrender into, okay, I trust the process of life and being able to kind of let go. So I know that a lot of people that are watching us, you might be struggling with COVID or something that is happening in your life. But one thing you do need to know, you're not alone. You can reach out to Sheryl, you could reach out to me, you can reach out to so many people. You are not alone. Find a community where you can find people that are like-minded, that are tapping into something different that will support you while you are going through this process of change, because that's exactly what it is. It doesn't matter what's happening in your life, it's change that's happening in your life that is transforming you into something bigger and greater. So this is the Power Talk, Ask the Expert. So please make comments, ask any questions you want, and we will come back and respond. We are putting a link here where you can get in touch with Cheryl, and she's going to give you a free gift. I thought I had already put it up here, and for some reason, I don't see it anymore. So let me put it back in here. It's a free guide that you can get. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in the comments as well so that you can find it even after the show. So make sure you get this free guide. Let me put it here in the comments. And there it is. So make sure that you get your free gift. And how can people get in touch with you? I know that we put your website up here, but
Yes, absolutely. Through the website www.sherylputerman.com, or through Facebook, Sheryl Puterman, through LinkedIn, Sheryl Puterman, Instagram @Sheryl Puterman. So I'm basically all over the place, or through email, which you can get through the website info@sherylputerman.com. And and do download the free resources. They are there to help you to navigate your way through challenges that you may be facing in life. And yes, you are not alone. You are not alone. There are so many people that can help. And what we need to do as human beings as well is to actually reach out for that help when we need it. And, I'm here to help. Dr. Angelica is here to help. There are many people online that can help. So if you are feeling that you do need somebody to help you through what it is that you're going through, do reach out. And that takes courage too. But do make that first step. Everything starts with the first step. And from there, you can get the encouragement that you need to take that next step with full faith, and knowing that things have a way of working themselves out and that you'll figure it out.
You will figure it out. And if you don't figure it out, you just begin to learn how to begin to learn how to ask with powerful questions, because the powerful questions are what will help you connect with individuals. The brain is so magical that when you ask the right question, like you can't say, why is this happening to me? No, that is not the right question. What you could do is say, I wonder what I can do different, or I wonder how I can create this product, or I wonder how I can find a person that's going to support me through this situation. Begin to ask questions so that you become empowered and you begin to connect with the right people. And hopefully you already asked that question, that you're here connecting with Cheryl and myself, because we're here to support you. She's giving you a free gift, so click on it. And I'm Angelica Benavides. You also will find me under Angelica Underwood, and you will find me in all social media. I want to give you a gift too, since it's the Christmas season. And one of the gifts that I'm giving is a vision board magic. In Spanish, is tu pizarrón. And basically, it's not just about creating a board and putting it up, but it's really tapping into what do you truly desire and then helping you create steps and asking the right questions so that you can get there. So know that you are a powerful human being. And like Sheryl said at the beginning, we have a powerful gift, and that's intuition. So tap into your intuition and listen to it. It's very subtle, but yet it's very repetitive. And many times you'll hear it through a song. Intuition also comes through maybe like images that come to your head, sound, names. So you have to kind of listen to that subtle message that you're getting, because I truly believe in intuition. It is a powerful superpower, like Sheryl said. And I don't know if you want to say any other message that you want them to walk away with.
I think what I'd love everybody to walk away with from our talk this evening is that through this trying time that we've been going through and ending off 2020 and opening up to 2021,
Mm-hmm.
I think that each and every one of us should take this away, that the greatest antidote for when we are feeling low within ourselves is to reach out and to help somebody else. When we give from the heart, we truly, truly get for the heart. So let's all bring more kindness, more compassion into our lives, into the lives of our loved ones. Don't underestimate the power of a simple smile, a simple kind act for somebody else. It is, at the end of the day, what keeps us truly grounded and present in a way that can offer healing for each other and for ourselves. So let's lead forward into 2021 from the heart, with love, with kindness and compassion. And I wish everybody an amazing 2021. Believe in yourselves, push past those self-limiting beliefs, be the best that you can be, and let it be, let it reveal itself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here. I'm honored that you're here, and blessings, because I think you're here to really do something huge and amazing and touch and transform so many lives. I truly believe in that. And I'm here for whatever you need. And I'm asking anybody who is watching this, or you will watch it, go ahead and press three things. This is what we're asking: that you make a comment below, ask a question if you want, and like and share. Why? Because there's someone out there waiting for this message, someone who's asking for some type of support, who's asking for some type of miracle. And what we just shared today is a miracle. Sheryl is with us today, sharing her story on her survival of the Asian tsunami. And that is huge. And it is a remarkable experience to come here and being able to share it with you. Someone else is experiencing something, and they probably feel stuck in it. And I know that Sheryl or myself can help pull them out with this special message. So please share, because somebody's waiting for it. Again, thank you very much. This is the Power Talk Ask the Expert, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.